Hello everyone. The topic for our today's lecture is Browning reaction. So we all have came across Browning reactions in our day-to-day life. The upmost example we all have seen is of apple. When we cut apple and after 5 to 10 minutes and brown pigment is there on apple, we can see the apple turning brown. Okay, so that brown pigment is due to Browning reactions on apple. So let us see what are Browning reactions and what are their mechanisms. So Browning is the process of food turning brown due to the chemical reactions that take place within. Due to browning, the food changes its color, flavor, loss of nutritive value, and formation of toxic compounds, loss of solubility. Okay, so browning reactions occur widely in food materials, and the color produced is not only confined to brown only. Okay, it ranges from yellow to dark brown to black also. Okay, so browning is broadly classified into two parts. Okay, so the first part is enzymatic browning. The many of the enzyme reactions are seen in fruits. Okay, as the name suggests, it has the presence of enzymes. Okay, enzymes are present in here. Okay, and non-enzymatic browning, as the name suggests, there are no enzymes involved. Okay, so in enzymatic browning, there is an oxidation of polyphenolic compounds by oxidative enzymes in plant cells. Okay, so in non-enzymatic browning, there are sugars and sugar-related compounds involved. Okay, so let us move further and let us know enzymatic reactions in detail. So enzymatic browning. Many fruits and vegetables have tendency to turn brown when damaged or when cut surfaces are exposed to air. As we all have seen that in apple, banana, potatoes. Okay, so this is due to enzymatic reaction. Okay, so this enzymatic reaction, the formation of brown color is due to action of an enzyme. That enzyme is known as phenolase enzyme. Note it down, everybody. Phenolase enzyme. Okay, this has main role in browning. Okay, that phenolase enzyme is also known as polyphenol oxidase, triosinase, and catecholase. Okay, so let us learn about its reactions, how the browning occurs. Okay, so the polyphenols in the cells of fruits and vegetables. Okay, the polyphenols from cells, when we cut down in fruit, it comes in contact with the surrounding air. Okay, so the polyphenols reacts with the oxygen present in the air. Okay, in the presence of air, the polyphenols reacts with air. Okay, oxygen in the air in the presence of oxidase in the presence of oxidase. Okay, oxidase, it turns into a brown pigment. Polyphenols reacts with oxygen in the presence of oxidase and turns into a brown pigment. That brown pigment is known as melanin. Note it down, everybody. Okay, that brown pigment is known as melanin. Okay, so the enzymatic browning is due to the oxidation of phenols to orthoquinones. Okay, it has more steps, like it is the overview of the steps. It has details also. Let me give you the details. Okay, so the phenols oxidizes to form orthoquinones, and these orthoquinones polymerizes to form melanin, that brown pigment. Okay, these orthoquinones polymerizes. Okay, so which in turn rapidly polymerizes to form melanin. Okay, when the substrate is a phenol, it is converted to hydroxylation into orthodiphenol and then oxidizes into orthoquinone. Okay, so let us read what is written here. Enzymatic browning is one of the most important reaction that take place. Okay, we all know that. And generally it involves chemical reactions, involve polyphenol oxidase, catechol oxidase, and other enzymes that. Okay, As I have told you, the polyphenol is also known as polyphenol oxidase, catecholase and triosinase. Okay, and these creates melanin. Okay, and benzenoquinone from natural phenols. Okay, and yeah, we all have learned that. Okay, there is nothing special. Yeah, polyphenols. Here is the structure of polyphenols. Polyphenols are a large family of naturally occurring organic compounds characterized by multiple of phenols unit. We all know, we are familiar with phenols, and polyphenols are nothing more than an group of phenols or a polymer of phenols. Okay, moving to the next. Okay, so the next is enzymatic browning, and yeah, enzymatic browning takes place only in fruits and vegetable which contain phenolic compound. These phenolic compounds react with oxygen in the air. In the presence of oxidase, they form melanin. Okay, and in detail, we all have studied, like in detail, the phenols oxidizes to form orthoquinones, and orthoquinones polymerizes to form melanin pigment. Okay, so just like phenolase, there is also an enzyme triosinase. Okay, so let us learn the browning mechanism in triosine. Okay, triosine is also a major phenolic substrate. So triosine oxidizes to form 3,4-dihydroxyphenylalanine. Okay, then it also oxidizes to form 5,6-dihydroxydihydroindole carboxylic acid. Then it turns to a red pigment. Okay, then it turns to a red pigment, and then after removing CO2 from it, it turns to melanin. Melanin is that what? Brown pigment. Okay, so moving to next. That is here is an reaction. Okay, we all have learned it in the earlier slides, that the phenolic substance in the presence of oxygen and the enzyme oxidase turn to orthoquinone, and orthoquinone polymerizes to form an melanin brown pigment. Okay, so yeah, we all know that there are scientists who are working on methods to stop browning, and they have achieved success. For example, normally the phenolic substrates are separated from phenolase in intact tissue, and browning does not occur. When we don't have phenol in the fruit or vegetable, the oxygen will not react with it, and there will no browning happen. Okay, so just removing or inactivating phenol substances, we can achieve that browning will not happen. Okay, so here what's written here: the use of sulfides have been reconsidered due to potential hazards it cause along with its activity. So yeah, like heat treatment and addition of sulfur dioxide or sulfides and ascorbic acid too are commonly used methods to inactivate the phenolic enzyme, phenolase enzyme. Okay, phenolase enzyme is being inactivated by ascorbic acid, sulfur dioxides or sulfides. Sulfur dioxide and ascorbic acids are strong reducing agent. Okay, they consume oxygen, and there is no oxygen left out, so that phenol will react to, and there will be no browning. Okay, so and destroying the browning activity of enzyme, and either of them may be added to product and tend to broken. Okay, so yeah, so the browning can be stopped by these methods. So our next topic is non-enzymatic browning. Non-enzymatic browning reactions are responsible for the color and flavor of the food. Okay, non-enzymatic browning is the second type of browning process that also products the brown pigmentation in food, but it do not involve any kind of enzyme. Okay, so non-enzymatic browning is of two types. Okay, desirable and non-desirable. Although enzymatic browning is also of two types, desirable and non-desirable. So in non-enzymatic browning, desirable, I have an example for you. The chocolate flavor of cacao beans. Okay, so when we roast cacao beans, it turns to more dark pigment. Okay, it turns to more dark pigment, and then after roasting only it develops its chocolate flavor. Before roasting there is no chocolate flavor in cacao beans. Okay, so this sorry, so this browning is helpful, this is desirable, and undesirable is like the dark brown color of potato chips, that is undesirable. Okay, because it do not involve any kind of enzymes, it is distinguished from enzymatic browning by being termed as non-enzymatic browning. Okay, so yeah, the presence of reactive reducing sugars is responsible for browning in foods. On heating, the sugar undergoes ring opening. Okay, so sugar undergoes the ring opening, enolization, dehydration, and fragmentation. Okay, the unsaturated carbonyl compounds that are formed react to produce brown polymer and flavor compounds. Okay, the non-enzymatic browning is mainly involves sugar and sugar related compounds. Okay, so non-enzymatic browning is broadly classified into two parts, that is Maillard's reaction and caramelization, and the third part is like for ascorbic acid and for the browning that is due to some utensils and all. Okay, so let us see what is Maillard reaction. Okay, so Maillard reaction is also known as Maillard browning, is a color, flavor, odor, and sometimes texture change which results from a chemical reaction between proteins and carbohydrates. Okay, so Maillard reaction is generally an reaction between proteins and sugar. Sugar is a carbohydrate. Okay, so there is a reaction between proteins and the sugar. Okay, it is named after the Frenchman Maillard who discovered it. Okay, so Maillard reaction denotes a group of many complex reaction between nitrogenous compounds and sugar. Okay, nitrogenous compounds are of those amino acids. Okay, so there is a reaction between the nitrogenous compound and sugar. Okay, so nitrogenous compounds and organic acids also, and sugar and organic acid among organic acids themselves. Okay, there are four types of reactions, complex reactions in Maillard reaction, that is one between nitrogenous compound and sugar, one between nitrogenous compound and organic acids, one between sugar and organic acids, and the last one is among organic acids itself. Okay, the carbonyl group of acylic sugar readily combines with the basic amino groups of proteins, peptides, and amino acids, resulting in sugar amines. Okay, so what is written here, let us see. It is a protein sugar interaction. Okay, protein carbohydrate interaction. Sugar is mainly 100% carbohydrate. It leads to the development of brown color in a mixture containing amino acids and reducing sugar. Okay, so it is also a carbonyl amine reaction. Why it is known as carbonyl amine reaction, it may be a question, because the carbonic group of acylic acid readily combines with the basic amino group of protein, peptides, and amino acids. Okay, so the brown color formed contributes to aroma, flavor, and color of many ready to eat cereals. Okay, so you can see the crust of most breads such as brioche and are golden brown, are a result of Maillard's reaction. Okay, so Maillard's reaction also lead to undesirable changes like unfavorable brown color in dried milk, detrimental flavor changes, a burnt flavor. Okay, so in Maillard's reaction, the sugar amines have a brown color at low temperature. It has been found that histidine, threonine, phenylalanine, tryptophan, and lysine are most reactive amino acids. Okay, so moving to next. So here what I explained to you earlier, here it is written. The reactive carbonyl group of sugar reacts with nucleophilic amino group of amino acid and forms a complex mixture of poorly characterized molecule responsible for a range of aromas and flavors. Okay, so here you can see in this image the sugar, the carbonyl group of sugar and the nucleophilic amino group of protein is reacting to form an complex of sugar. Okay, complex of sugar and amino group. Okay, and there is a colorless intermediate. Okay, and that colorless intermediate changes to a brown compound and a flavoring substance. Okay, and that brown compound and a flavoring substance is known as melanin. Okay, so what is written here? Let us read. This process is accelerated in an alkaline environment as the amino acid group RNH3 plus RNH3 positive gives RNH2 or deprotonated. Okay, so Maillard browning is responsible for desirable browning of most heated foods such as bread, crust, roasted meats and roasted coffee beans. Okay, it is desirable mostly. Okay, this browning is accelerated by heating and occurs very quickly in ovens, slowly at room temperature and very slowly at refrigerator temperatures. Okay, so you can see in this image and you can screenshot it. I will remove my pen markings. It is an easy concept it is an easy way to learn Maillard's reaction. Okay, so I have more to add. Like Maillard browning to occur, the protein of enzymes and those in the thin layer of cell membrane in fruits and vegetable is enough. Okay, in light colored foods such as dried apples, the effect are particularly noticeable. Okay, so let's move to next, caramelization. Okay, so caramelization, sugar in dry condition when heated beyond their melting point decompose and form a brown mass known as caramel. Okay, so sugar in their dry condition when heated beyond their melting point. And what is the temperature? Learn it or mark it. Okay, note it, 160 degree Celsius. Okay, so sugar in dry condition when heated beyond their melting point decomposes to form a brown mass, and that brown mass is known as caramel. Caramel is bitter in taste, astringent taste. Okay, bitter and astringent taste. And the process of caramelization occur at a high temperature while Maillard's reaction develop brown color at low temperature. Okay, this is the process. If you get to distinguish between caramelization and Maillard's reaction, then the first point you will write there is the Maillard reaction is a process that occurs at low temperature and gives brown color, and caramelization at the same time gives brown color but at a low temperature. Okay. With the use of suitable catalyst, it is possible to carry out caramelization to occur either flavoring or coloring caramel for food use. Okay. For flavoring purpose, as the caramelization at the last, this brown caramel occurs, but it has no taste or it has bitter taste. Okay, so to develop flavor in this, we add some flavoring substances for flavoring purpose. Sucrose as concentrated syrup is caramelized. Okay, and for the manufacturing of caramel colors for use in beverage, glucose syrup is treated with dilute sulfuric acid and then partially neutralized with ammonia. Okay, so moving to next. Let us read what is written here. When sugar is heated at high temperature in the absence of water and amino acid, it turns brown, and this sugar interaction is known as caramelization. Okay, so when sugar is heated in the absence of water at higher temperature beyond their melting point, that a caramel is formed. Okay, and here it is written sucrose plus caramel plus acid. Okay, so development of caramel flavor and color in caramel custard is a desirable change, whereas uncontrolled heating of sugar can lead to objectionable burnt color and flavors. Okay, so moving to the next. Reaction of oxidation products. Okay, so ascorbaric acid. Okay, beside reaction of sugar and amino acids, breakdown of ascorbaric acid during storage of the product may be another possible reason for the development of browning. Okay, so what is written here? Ascorbaric acid present in fruits undergo oxidation with the formation of compounds which produce a brown pigment. Okay, so ascorbaric acid present in fruits, present in foods undergo oxidation and it form dehydroascorbic acid. Okay, then it again undergo oxidation and forms 2,3-diketogluconic acid. Then it forms furfural, and then it polymerizes to form brown pigment. This type of browning is seen in preserves. Okay, here it is also another type of browning, that is lipid browning. Many fatty foods during processing and storing exhibit browning, which can be attributed to reaction of lipid oxidation products with amino acids. Okay, and yeah, there is also another type of browning that is not mentioned here. I would like to mention it. That is the browning caused due to metallic contamination. Okay, mainly by iron and copper salts. The tannin in fruits and vegetables react with the iron of the tin plate to form ferric tannate. Okay, which is black in color and spoils the appearance. Okay, so the metal reacts with the tannin in fruits and it leads to the change of color in fruits and vegetable. Okay, so the metallic contamination can be avoided by using glass containers, uniformly coating the interiors of the cans with suitable lacquers. Okay, so moving to the next, here are some questions for your homework. You should try them. Okay, so the first question is, at what temperature does caramelization takes place? I had told you that caramelization of sugar takes place beyond their melting point. Okay, I have also mentioned the temperature there. Okay, so what are the substrate of Maillard reactions? You have to write the enzymes and their substrates. What is melalin? It is one of the most easiest question. Explain caramelization and explain the process of enzymatic browning. Okay, so for the study material, you can visit our website www.foodtechnetwork.in. Okay, and for any queries, you can write up those queries in chat box. Okay, thank you.